sale of fake drugs?
Fake and counterfeit drugs.
A lot of fake drugs. We know that there are people who want to do some illicit things.
These are drugs that people will consume.
And death.
And it's criminal.
You bring in fake drugs and somebody die.
Killing probably people in hundreds.
Put a check to these
Fake and substandard drugs.
Nafdac.
Nafdac. Nafdac.
Nafdac.
Nafdac.
Nafdac.
Nafdac. Nafdac. Nafdac.
What are the advantages of the TrueScan over conventional methods?
What this can do is some of the things you can do in a lab. The advantage of this is that you are able to take this kind of facility to where you want to use it. But for conventional laboratory system, you cannot move. You need solid infrastructure. You need electricity. You need water. You need trained personnel. You need experienced people. You need reagents, specialized ones. But all this has been condensed in a simple instrument that they call the TrueScan. So Nafdac has taken advantage of these new technologies to do work. And in that regard, we have been able to go to very remote places. We have visited 19 states of the Federation. I've been to far-flung places like Ilela on the Nigeria-Niger border, Bakassi, right, very close to the Atlantic, Eket, some of the very remote locations where people want to sell counterfeit products because they believe people are not very aware and so on.
How does it work in practice?
We can use it to test for drug samples. I'm going to demonstrate for capsules. This is original. This is original Bisham Ampiclos capsule. This is referred to as a vial. We need just about 2 or 3 of such capsule. We'll fill up this vial. We have the vial holder already attached to the aperture of the TrueScan. This is referred to as a vial holder. There's an aperture through which the laser beam will get to see this sample here. And then I want to check for Ampiclos. As you can see, Ampiclos 500 already delivery actually has different drug samples whose signatures have been acquired and stored on the system. They are arranged in alphabetical order, just like you can see. That is Ampiclos 500 milligram capsule, right? We want the TrueScan to check whether it is genuine or counterfeit. Within a couple of minutes, it will return a result. All right, just like you can see, that's a pass result. Now we'll go ahead to test the other one that is actually a fake one. We've marked it F.
Last year was very productive because we continued with cutting-edge technologies to fight counterfeit medicines. In fact, our efforts were being recognized worldwide. We have been invited by the U.S. Council on Foreign Relations to make presentations that we form the documents that will be incorporated into the documents that the Obama administration intends to present before the next GA summit coming up in Chicago this year. Our effort has been recognized to a point where we've been invited to other countries to share our experiences in using this new technology to fight counterfeit medicines.
Thank you. All right. There are other organoleptic tests that we normally carry out. For example, Ampiclos has a characteristic odor, smell, just like that of penicillin. But if you actually perceive this, you realize that it doesn't have that characteristic smell. And so you can tell. Besides that, the shell is so brittle that it breaks at a little pressure, unlike that of the original. Also, you also realize that the content is fuller than that of the genuine. These are other preliminary tests that we normally carry out to carry out before we actually do the actual run. And then you can tell. Okay, so you have it in the vial now. You get into the vial holder. And then we want to do a check. Also for Ampiclos 500 milligram capsule. Like I told you, we have obtained the genuine sample from the manufacturer. We copy the signature into the system, and now the TrueScan will be reading through the signature of the sample and match it, superimpose it with that we have copied. If they are in tandem, it returns a pass result, like the other one you saw earlier on, and if there's any little deviation, it returns a failed result. It looks into the active ingredient, it looks into excipient, and every other thing that makes up the product. Now we'll run for this. You will observe that for the genuine samples, it took less than 2 minutes to obtain a result. Now, when it's taking a while, you begin to suspect that something is going wrong, because having taken the signature of the sample, it tried to superimpose it on that of the genuine, and if they don't mark peak for peak, width for width, any deviation, it carries out a perform post-analysis verification, just like you can see now, performing analysis, verifying the material, what exactly it is. It tries to look into the library and see what does it look like, what is it synonymous to. And then you have a failed result here, just like you can see.
This new form of technology with its enormous advantages have been used successfully in various parts of the country.
The hinterland remains a challenge, and that is why we have acquired this TrueScan. TrueScan, we have a TrueScan team that just pays surprise visits to the states, every state, and they go there. We have visited 29 states so far with the TrueScan team. And they go pay a surprise visit. They do not tell somebody where they are coming, when they are coming, and they just show up. They close your store for a few hours, and they can check the quality of medicines in those stores. So that is helping. And then these text messages are now helping to drive counterfeiters even from the hinterland, because most Nigerians are now have cell phones, and most of them can text and verify the authenticity of medicines before they buy. The text messaging system actually was designed to put the power of the detection of counterfeits in the hands of the Nigerian consumer. Because of the increasing difficulty in identifying counterfeits occasioned by the sophistication in printing technology, where counterfeiters can print, make printing on their fake products that looks even sometimes better than the genuine products. We try to use hologram to protect our products, medicines, and just before we started it, we found a counterfeit medicine that already had holograms, while the genuine one had not yet applied the holograms. So the counterfeiters want to stay ahead of the game. So to enable us give more meaning to the Nafdac number, and to enable the Nigerian consumer detect counterfeit medicines, we came up with the text messaging system, just like because realizing that about 80 million Nigerians are conversant with texting. They buy their recharge cards, they scratch, find a PIN number, and use it to upgrade their credit on their cell phones. So the same method we are using, and it has proven very successful so far. A few companies, a few products were being counterfeited almost out of business.
The scratch and text, for short, in our technical parlance, we call it the mobile authentication service scheme. It is built upon, modeled after our GSM system, whereby you buy a recharge card, you scratch it, and certain PIN numbers are revealed, and you load it, and your credit is on. So Nafdac has decided to leverage on IT technology, particularly. That was one of the most innovative and creative approach that Dr. Paul Ohi has brought to bear on Nafdac regulatory activity, particularly with the fight against counterfeit drugs since he came on board. We have discovered that the fight against counterfeit drugs has become a ding-dong battle, whereby it's a game of wit the counterfeiters, as you move ahead, they're also trying to circumvent whatever measures we have put in place. And we came to at a point whereby we have been trumpeting the idea that people should look out for Nafdac registration number and the best before, that is the date of manufacture, expiry date, batch number, and all those labeling requirements. But the counterfeiters are also watching, and they've gone ahead to see how they can circumvent this process. And they were almost succeeding until Dr. Paul he came on board and felt that the only answer to this problem is to adopt cutting-edge technology. That has been the joker that we've been playing all this while since he came on board. So we have a checklist of several technologies that he has brought on to bear in the fight against counterfeit drugs and other substandard regulated products. But the most appealing one that has put the power of detection of counterfeit drugs in the hands of over 80 million cell phone users in the country is the scratch and text service system, what we call the mobile authentication scheme. You enter into a pharmacy shop for the scratch card, you request for the product, and just like you have the MTN, the Glow, and all those scratch cards, then you see the silver lining something and scratch it off, and certain pins are revealed. And the PIN number, you text that PIN number to 38353. That is the code. So it goes into it, and within a minute, the answer comes back to tell you that the drug is okay. And if it is fake, it tells you that it's fake, and you don't buy. So we are appealing to customers to ensure that they do not pay at the counter until they have seen the results.
My customers, I think they more have confidence now than before. I have if I make an example of the Ampiclos Bicham, when a customer asks for Ampiclos Bicham, you will see the customer bringing out his or her phone, taking the number there, trying to send an SMS to confirm if it is an original. And you see the customer, they are more relaxed to that finding, and it make them to come more and patronize drugs.
The issue of products that you text, you check the standard of products by checking the numbers. I think I really commend them for that. They really did a nice job there. Once you buy, you check the number, you text the number to Nafdac, they will give you a confirmation approval.
You know the popular say that if you want a Nigerian not to get an information, you put it in writing, so he wouldn't read it. Nigerians, most of them come in, they buy whatever they want to buy. They don't have that time to scratch anything and text to anybody. But a few of them, in fairness to truth, will come in from time to time and ask, okay, I want to see. They'll scratch and text and they returns. So they're happy. You know, to that extent, the technology is fantastic. You know, and it gives confidence to the customer also. And also reassures the dealers, the pharmacy shops, because you can sit down and boast, I cannot sell fake products. So if you want, confirm. You know, it gives authenticity to whatever you're doing as a seller, and also reassures the customer.
From the users, from the consumers, some say that they test this thing and what they get sometimes error or it does not exist. So in other words, maybe our Nigeria need to improve their IT industry. I don't know where the problem lies from.
Although occasionally we have received complaints of certain delays here and there, but obviously it's understandable, because even in network, when you want to call people, you experience some network. That is because we're leveraging on the cell phone system. We know that Nafdac has its own separate platform. So some of the problems you encounter in terms of quickly getting a response when you send a text message is also particular. But we've been working closely with the cell phone operators to see how this thing can be made faster, because somebody who is sick and wants to procure drug does not have all the time in the world to start waiting for. And most of the beauty of it is that it is in all the GSM system, be it MTN, Glow, Airtel, Etisalat, they are on all the platform. So 38353, 38353. It's on the label. Okay. So it once you scratch, it reveals how you are going to go about it, and tells you how to go step by step, and just like when you want to reload your recharge card, it tells you what to do before you can reload a specific card. It's very simple, and user-friendly.